It's Rob. Hope you're having a great day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the chat box, let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all of that, everybody. So much help. Let's try to get this video going this week. All right, I think we're good. Excellent. Fantastic. Well, I hope it's been a good day for you so far. Morning there, Jim. Morning, Brenda. Afternoon, John. As we do get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education purposes. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance before ever taking on that trade, that setup, or that indicator. We got a lot happening this week. We got Inner Circle coming up this evening. I think we're going to start digging into the rules of that Hakanashi trade, so I'm really excited about that. Mastermind tomorrow night. Monster Market moves on the 24th. Man, I found some amazing candidates for that one this morning as I was looking at a few of them. Wow. Trading You coming up on the 31st. E-mini Think Tank Q&A is coming up early Feb. We've got Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook, of course, on regular schedule. Crush It in 2024. That's with me, right? Lee, could you drop a link in for that, please, guys? There are 4 trainings for Crush It with 2024. They're all the same training. You're welcome to come to every one if you want, but realistically, you'll get what you need out of one, maybe 2 of them at most. Go ahead and get registered for those. There's only one at noon, which is the first one. The rest of them are all at 8 p.m. Covered call E-mini are on the regular schedule. Because of last week being a shortened week, we moved everything out for the days that we did the pop last week. I'm going to do Tuesday and Thursday this week because we did one on Friday. So I'll do Tuesday and Thursday, and that'll get us all caught up for this week. All right. Make sure you follow along with the various social platforms out there. Keep up with the content that we put out there regularly. We have a brand new person that starts this week that her entire job, her entire function is content. That's all she's here for, is to help us build content. So make sure that you are checking out the different platforms there. Here's Trading Boss Manifesto. You can download this right off of the website, the robertjroy.com website, right off of tradinglikeaboss.com. You can get it off of all of them, right? And Crush It in 2024, that's me, right? We've talked about crushing it this month, right? Brandon started off with a few trainings. You may have seen some other ones come through. It said crush, and you go, oh, same thing. Nope, not same thing. This is the next wave of crush, right? I'm going to show you what you need to do just that in this upcoming year, 2024. Right. Oh, I don't want to share that yet. Okay. So what trades did you all do today? I did not get anything off today. Nothing I found that really suited me for the morning. It was a busy day, so I was okay passing on it. And that's the really nice thing if you've got the ability to, right? And say, okay, I do this, but I don't have to do it every day. There you go, right? So let's see what we got here, John. So drop your trades in. We're going to assume everything is non-funded. John dropped his in here. Wheel of Fortune, Riot, CRSP, TSLL, and NKE, and they could put on Verizon. Cash flow of $1,200. Good job, John. As usual, Kevin bought some calls on DocuSign. Very nice, right? Yeah, it's off day. You know, we got an all-time high on Friday on the S&P 500. Big gap up today, pull back, which has been a little bit scary for some of the, was that an overreaction to today? Very well, possibly might be. Okay. Many of you are familiar with, each coach has their own style of trading, right? Their own thing that they do, right? Tony Benson is kind of what's the word? How do I want to describe what Tony does? Tony has a program called Weekly Whispers. And inside of there, he's kind of the hidden gem, the shh, don't tell anybody about it, is how it seems sometimes, right? Well, Tony sent in his trades. And you can see the dates, right? Here's January 9th, 10th, 12, 12, 12. His next page, 16, 18, 18, 19, right? So between the 9th and the 19th, so over about a 10-day period, he has 10 trades on here in total, okay? So the very first one, you could see, first one right here started on January 9th, right? 631.08 was the trade. He bought to open 10 of BBY's $100 15th of March, 2024, $80 puts at $675. So that was his cost, $67.50. He sold 4 of them at 34.40. He sold 6 of them at 58.50, right? And again, you got to take away the 67.50 as starting. So he was up $2,270. Excuse me. He bought here 30 contracts and sold off in portions, right? 6, 9, 15. Right? Bought 4, sold 4. Okay, that was the first trade that went against them. That was on and I'm brand new looking at what Tony's got here. ADI. There we go. ADI was the symbol. Okay. So overall, Tony's got 10 trades there. This one, we got 4 trades that have gone against us. Now, I want you to keep something in mind. Look at these trades. Plus 20, and again, all not funded, right? Plus 2270, plus 1818, minus 200. Okay, I can deal with a minus 200 after I just brought in 35, 4 grand, right? Plus 200, plus 400, minus 180, minus 275, minus 100, minus 300, plus 200. All small numbers when it comes to what we get as a cost. Total P&L on those trades, those 10, were $3,843 in total, which means on average, $384.30 per trade is what Tony was able to produce, right? So overall, Tony does phenomenal with his setups. He does a great job teaching his students. Actually, Lee dropped in a link to Tony's Weekly Whispers. We want to check that out. Right, very impressed with Tony's trainings. I'm glad he's doing this. I'm going to ask him to start putting them on a chart, just like you might see Amelia's come through sometimes. No trades came through to me today so far from Amelia, so she must not have closed anything out as of yet. And as I said, for me, didn't get any off at all today. It just wasn't anything that I was very excited about saying, I need to do this today, at least not directionally with the big moves we've had in the last 2 days, okay? So let's go take a look at the S&P 500 and see what's going on. So, and there we go. There's the black candle starting to form for the day. So if we look, actually, let's go back historically. Actually, let's not say we did. Let's go look at a monthly chart. All right. That is right here. Right. That is the all-time high on the S&P 500. We came close to the month before, but that's our all-time high, which is our 0 line, right, in this monthly fib. We had a really nice pullback to the 50 percentile, great bounce, 1 line, 2 line, 3 full lines. We get a breakout on that. This is all this month, right? It's happening here. It's all January, still happening. If we go back and look at the daily chart on the S&P 500, I want to bring it in a little bit so we can get a better focus on the current fib. You know, when we made this V bottom, nice steady move up, sideways pattern. Nice gap up, sideways to a slight upward drift. Then we definitely went sideways. Nice bullish pattern. Quick little 1 day down. We go right back to where we were. We put in a new top and we fail. Okay. And a lot of this is happening at key areas. We fail off of that 0 line, which is pretty close to the all-time high. Okay. We pull back. We go right into the 21 moving average, the 100-point level, the diagonal trend line that I've got drawn there, the Fibit, all of that happening together. We push back to the 0 line again, which has a confluence of a 100-point level, that 4,700, 4,800. We pull back, and last week, so let's see. This was Friday's candle. So when I did the market intelligence report, daily market intelligence report that I do it on a Friday. We send an email out on Sunday. You can go to the website, the same link you get every week. You go to that link on Friday night and catch it. Usually after 6 p.m. on a Friday is when we've got it done, but we don't send an email till Sunday that it's out there. Right? It's a normal day to do it. And I talked about, and you go back and check it out, I talked about I'd like to see a pullback, and I would love to see the pullback into the area of a confluence right here, right, of this trend line and the 21 moving average. We got that move down on Wednesday. We gapped right down to it. We stretched further down, which was great because we stretched down to that 4112 level right here, that Fibit. And then we got a really nice catalyst from there. And I talked about we're going to push up here and hesitate. We didn't hesitate long to the blue line, the 0 line, and then we look for the breakout. We wanted to break out, retest, and bounce. Right? So let's go look at 4793.30. First thing is let's go get SPX set up here. Let's go ahead and snap in the 47.93.30. All right. Let's bring it in a little. Too much. Okay. And let's get a pencil. We like to have a pencil. Perfect. So we got our gap up on Thursday. Let's try a different color. Let's go with a white. It doesn't match anything else on the screen. We got our gap up. We got a pullback. We got a gap up. Came back, had a small retest and a bounce. Right? If you missed on that bounce or it didn't move up high enough, you got to fail, a retest, a fail, a move up, a retest, and a bounce. This was the catalyst that said, yes, 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 yes. And that is exactly what I talked about on Weekly Whispers. Listen to me. On the Traders Market Intelligence report from Friday, exactly what I was looking for. Okay. And what happened? We got the breakout, we got the retest, we got the bounce. Boom. Right? It set us up for the potential to start taking long directional bullish trades. Right? Swing type trades are there. We didn't call any in power option plays this week. I stuck with everything because it was just one day breakout. I stuck with everything still as a day trade up to this point. But we all want to look, if we continue to move in a bullish fashion, to add some of the swing trades to the mix as well. Okay. But overall, the move up has been magnifique, beautiful, right? Planned, consistent. Again, you can go back and check what I said in the previous week's Traders Market Intelligence report just to confirm exactly the pattern that I am looking for, right? It isn't just that we broke out. Breakout traders are awesome if you're good enough at being able to take that. I am not. I'll be the first one to admit it, right? I would rather have the pullback. We had a small gap up, not concerned with it. Moved higher, retested, bounced. Now it opened the signal up, which also means that, you know, if we're looking at Friday, come on, SPY. Looking at Friday, we got a very similar move, 477.55. And if we grab the pencil again, gap up, fail, gap up, retest. If you missed it, missed it. We got the move up. It drew too far. Got the gap up and the pullback, the retest in here. We closed, we retested, we bounced. There's the entry right there. Done. Done, 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 done. This is why SPY, without a doubt, should be on everybody's radar every single flipping day. Let me ask you, give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. How many of you look at the SPY as a potential trade daily? You know, 1 for yes, a 2 for no. And if you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. There isn't a good or isn't a bad, it isn't a right or isn't a wrong. It just is. Right? It just is. So just about everybody that entered their an answer in, not everyone, just about everybody was a 1. If you are on the side of 2, right? If you are on the side of 2, thanks, Jeff, then you might want to consider adding this to your repertoire. Right? I think it's a great position to consider for any and every trader. I think can benefit from a company like SPY. There's just such great value inside of this in the way it trades. I mean, if we look here, look at the options. Let's just talk some benefits on the options for a second. I will go back and we'll grab another pencil. All right, we have an option that expires on the 22nd. That's today. 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. Well, that's every day all the way through Friday. Oh, wait, now we start all over again at 29, 30, 31, 1, 2. Right? Yowza. Okay? So there are a lot of opportunities of what to choose. If I'm trading today, I'm going to be looking for today an option that expires today, right? So what do I want to find? 65 to 85 delta or 100 or greater open interest. Bid-ask spread is not too big. Theoretical value is fair, right? We've talked about this a lot in nauseum in some of the recent trainings we did. You know what? Let's not do that way. Let's go back and do that from here. We had enough a minute ago. I'm just going to count it in there. Well, one more time for old sake time. So those are the two strikes right there that have the delta component meeting, 65 to 85. That one has just changed. This was 65 just a few seconds ago. But even worst case scenario, if I had to buy this option for $1.78, it's the $482 strike. We're now trading at 483.5. So we've got $1.57 of intrinsic value there, cash value, out of $1.77 call. It's 20 cents of time. You're paying nothing for time and it expires today. Okay. On top of that, bid-ask spread, very small, 3 cents, 1 cent in there. Theoretical value, it should be trading at $1.64. It's trading at $1.78. I could live with the 14 cents of overvalue. I'm not too concerned with it at this point, right? I'm okay with that, right? Everything fits in line here for me as far as wanting to trade this. Oh, Rob, I'm just real worried about trading today. What if I want to trade tomorrow? You go for it, go. By all means, if that's your deal, then you go for it. No questions about it. What do we got here? Whoa, what the heck? All right, let's try that again in slow-mo this time. Okay, so let's see. Three strikes, right, to trade tomorrows. What do we have? Open interest are all awesome, right? I mean, Delta, sorry, is awesome. Open interest, also awesome. Volume, great volume today. Fair value, 397 versus 405. Right, 239 versus 243. 314 versus 321. Minimal on those positions. And now you bought yourself another day. I am not saying buying another day is good. For me, it's not good. If it's a day trade, I'm going to be out today, I'm going to be out today. What if I get in trouble and I hold overnight? Don't. I don't mean don't get in trouble, because you will. You will, I will, we all will. Everybody has trades go the way that they did not anticipate, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? As long as you've followed your rules of your plan, and if you didn't, that's okay too. Adjust it for your next trade setup. All right. But excuse me. Overall, I think SPY is a phenomenal position to consider, as is QQQ. Right. If we open up today's options, and again, assuming you're bullish, right? So we've got 73 and 84 delta. That's it. Right? How does everything else match? Well, we know delta's good. We're good there. Open interest, amazing. Look at this volume today. Woof. Theoretical value $1.48. It's trading at $1.74. It's a little more than 25 cents, 28 cents. So a little bit higher than the SPY is. 238. It's trading right now at 256. Okay, 30 for 18 cents. It's not horrible at all, right? Bottom line is you've got some opportunity here on either one of those. We're going to look at next trading day, which is tomorrow. 70 delta, 77, 83, 483, 460, 377, 401. So 20, 30 cents seems to be the going rate for the time value, or the difference, rather, not time value, the difference of the fair value, theoretical value, and the actual going rate, the mid price of that position. Okay. So I like these two a lot. If I could stress anything to you, if it was the only thing you heard me say this year, add these two, at least one, at least SPY, add this to your repertoire. I think there's opportunities to trade this, maybe not every single day, but pretty close to it. We have one of our students in the circle, Scott. Is he here today? Let's see. I don't see him. Scott is an ETF trader. He loves him. He is big time into SPY. He has started adding some other strategies to his techniques now, but he is the guy that goes after the ETFs, particularly the SPY and the Qs, on a daily basis as a start. And all he started off with was just SPY. He was trading gaps on SPY, looking for gap fills. He used the gap statistics that we have available and determined the right positions to trade. And then from there had started adding things like the Qs, and now he does IWM. He's doing the Hakanashi trade with these guys and gals. So overall, like it a lot, right? So consider adding one, if not both of these, to your bag of tricks. Whether you're a day trader or a swing trader, really doesn't matter. You've got very low volatility on these positions. Because when you look at things like beta, right? And I don't mean beta like in a test. Oh, it's a beta. No, not that kind of beta. Right? I'm talking about when you look at beta, on a stock or of a stock, right? The S&P 500 has a beta of 1. What does that mean? And that's SPX, right? $ SPX has a beta of 1. Why? Because beta tells us how volatile the market is compared to itself. So to compare it to the S&P to the S&P, that's a beta of 1. That's parity, right? Well, now you go out and you find other stocks that have a higher beta, a lower beta, and so forth. Stocks like positions like the SPY and the Qs, because they are fund-based, they carry 100 or 500 stocks behind them. There is a very low risk from a beta standpoint on your position, right? So I love the fact that we have low beta on these as well, right? That's just a bonus, a home run with these trades, with these setups. Now, that doesn't make it good or bad. It just is. You just have to understand that. You're not looking at S&P, at SPX or SPY, let's say. Here we're on SPY, right? If we go over and look at template number 1 on Omega charts, down here it shows me SPY moves $4.24 a day. That's not a bad move for the SPY, right? I like it. I like it a lot. But if my goal on SPY on a normal day, not a crazy day where something happened, right? US achieves world dominance. The rest of the world begs us to take over their countries and help them run them properly, right? And the S&P takes off. I'm not talking about those days, okay? I'm talking about, on average, it moves $4.24 a day over the last 13 days from high to low. And that's good. But I like to trade some other stocks. So as an example, I like trading Netflix, right? They move $11.51 a day from high to low. See, I can look at that and say, okay, can I make $10, a $10 move? Maybe not make $10, but can I get a $10 move on Netflix today? Yeah, it's possible because it moves $11.81 every day, high to low. So it's possible. I like Tesla. Can I get a $10 move? Nope, it moves $8.18. So I'm not going to normally, doesn't mean it doesn't get higher. Normally doesn't move more. Normally. How about, I don't know, NVIDIA? They move $15.50 a day on average for the last 13 days. Okay? That, to me, gives me a lot of opportunity. If I say, okay, can I make 10 or 12 bucks on this? The answer is I can. Do I expect to make it all? No, heck no. Is it possible? Yes, but I just want to know the probability of being able to accomplish it all. Not probability, but possibility of being able to accomplish it all is there. And on SPY, it's not. We're on NVIDIA, it is. Now, don't get me wrong, there are crazy ones as well, right? Booking moves almost $70 a day, high to low. Which, by the way, you don't need a lot of move to make a lot of money. You also don't need a lot of move to lose a lot of money. Just keep that in mind. It's a two-way street. All right. So, Brenda, you wrote down 13-day period with a question mark. So I don't like to call it a 13-day moving average because or a 21-day moving average or a 5-day moving average. We've got to be careful because if I am on TradeStation, those are my 8 and 21 moving averages, but they're not day moving averages. They're 8 and 21 always. There is no real day period, day. It's always considered a period, right? So what does that mean? Well, it measures the last 8 bars for whatever period we are on. This, if you can see in the upper left corner, is a 5-minute bar. So every day, or every bar rather, it represents 5 minutes. Where if I go over to Omega charts, every bar represents 1 day, right? Or 1 month, right? So every bar has a representation to it. Instead of calling it a 21-day moving average, that changes if you shift things over to a if you switch things over to an intraday chart, 1 minute, 5 minute, 2 minute, whatever it is, it shifts that focus there for that position. Yeah, so you were talking about on Wilders. So on Wilders, Brenda, that's how we measure it with a period of 13 days. So we're measuring back over the last 13. Now, Wilders comes preset, guys, with a 14-day moving average, 14 days. If you left it at that, is that much difference between 13 and 14? No. When you even know it, you won't have a clue, right? I use it because my system is very specific. Okay. As a person, that's not even the right way to say it. What the stuff that goes on up here for me, I look at things with a very specific purpose when I see if somebody does something or the way something is performed, enacted, done, whatever words you want to use. And I look at it and say, but that's not the way it's supposed to be done. Well, according to who, right? According to you, Rob? I mean, that's the way I like them, maybe, right? A great example is my wife. We are a house of, oh my God, you are freaking crazy clean in your home, okay? We have, my oldest daughter lived here for many years with her dog, which is a pit hound, right? It sheds fiercely, right? I dare you to find hair around my house. By all means, you go for it. You won't. So my basement has no rugs in it. My first floor has a throw rug in our living room and little, walk-in mats when you come in front and back door. My second floor has no rugs at all. So with that, we have a vacuum cleaner in the basement. We have the robot vacuum cleaner on the first floor. We have a Dyson pet hair vacuum cleaner on the first floor. And then we have another vacuum on the second floor that's just for hardwood floors. The one on the first floor, you have to adjust if you're doing the rug or if you're doing the floors, right? My house is immaculate, right? People swear you don't have a dog. No, you don't have a dog that sheds. Yes, we do. No, it's impossible. You don't. Yes, we do. Okay. So when my wife cleans, she's fanatical, right? When she uses the Swifter, so she'll vacuum upstairs after she swifts. So you need to swift first and then vacuum. Is the vacuum not picking it all up? So she very much has a sporadic pattern. She's kind of, let's throw it over that way, then we'll put it there, then we'll put it there, then we go back over there. Hey, don't forget here. Me, I use it in a very systematic approach, right? The exact same 5 or 6 feet, which is the reach that I have with that stupid pole. Excuse my French, right? I don't miss a spot. I get perfect, right? I don't, there's no, her and I laugh because I make fun of her when she says to me, would you, swift that? Sure. Do you want me to swift it my way or sporadic sporadic Rose way? And she'll laugh because she knows what I'm talking about because she just kind of throws it around, right? But she'll spend 40 minutes doing it. I won't. I am very clear on where I go. I get it done fairly quickly. I can do the entire second floor in about 3.5 minutes, right? How do I know that? Because that's me. I look at everything as specifics of what can and cannot be done, right? I am just if I'm on a treadmill for 30 minutes at the gym and I've already used 3 minutes, I was okay. There's 27 minutes left. So 3 minutes out of 30, that's 1/10. So I am 10% of the way through. Right. And I would do this on everything that I do in life, right? I measure every single thing that I do. When you look at positions, when you look at indicators like wildest average true range, they fall right in my wheelhouse, perfect for my personality to help me understand the yays or the nays. What's the likelihood of a stock that normally moves $5 a day that I'm going to make $8 on it today? None, or very little likelihood anyway. Maybe not none, but darn close to none, if that could be a number. All right. Could it happen? Yes. Will it happen regularly? No. And the one day it does happen, out of 50, 100, whatever it is, I'm probably not looking at the stock that day anyway. Okay. So, well, what did we just do here? Oh yeah, there you go. Trader Will said 30-minute workouts or 34-minute workouts. You know, wonder why I don't do a 34, which is a fib number, Will? Because I can't do the other math in my head. And now my stress level is going up as I'm working out. So I use 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45s, because I literally will be, okay, 45-minute workout, I'm 15 minutes done. I am 1/3 of the way through, 33.33% way through, okay? Oh, wait, so now there's 20 minutes has gone by. Now I'll do calculated by fives, right? I am just nuts when it comes to that stuff. But folks, for me, that's what has helped me doesn't mean everybody works this way, as a trader, be able to see things that maybe some others just don't, that maybe others don't recognize. And the one thing to understand, and those that are in Inner Circle saw some of this with Ryan over the weekend, there are so many different ways to skin that cat. Ryan talked about the way that he does it. He talked indicators like Fibonacci's, and it's not that they don't work. It's a matter of finding what indicator, what way, what method works for you and making sure you use it to your best ability. Let's see. Dog hair is a fashion accessory. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the dog hair part, Trip. That's for sure. Jim said at CES in Las Vegas this month, there's a new robot floor cleaning coming out. Were you there, Jim? Were you at CES this year? CES, those that don't know, Consumer Electronics Show. There's a new robot floor cleaner coming out this year to get corners clean. Also uses water. It empties the dirty water for you. Be on the lookout for it later in the year when it goes on sale. Yeah, we have some hardwood floors as well, so I don't know if it could distinguish between that. In there. Oh, you watched it. Okay. The reason I asked is I was in Vegas when the Consumer Electronics Show was going on, which was why my hotel was $700 a night instead of $49 a night, because there were 80,000 hotel rooms sold out because of the Consumer Electronics Show. The event that I was at was only 3,000 people at the event. So, but guys, I like the indicator. I love those two symbols. I can't stress it enough. Even if you put them on your practice trading system for now and just get into looking at them. Are they boring? Do they move big numbers? No, they don't move big numbers. But if you can get a $4 move on the S&P, on the SPY, and you can only pick up $1 or $2, so what? So what? Big deal. And especially, I'm going to tell you, the more stable a position is, the better off you are with things like gap stats, because you have a much better possibility of it working out when you've got a stable position. Booking is not a stable position. Doesn't mean it won't work. It's not a stable position. SPY, QQQ, stable. Super, super stable. Okay? There you go. Brenda said, I'll take it. Good. Good. Okay. Let's see. All right, let me take us back into presentation mode for a second. And I want to talk about how to trade in 2024. Everything we've done so far this year, right, has had a very specific purpose. If you haven't seen it, right, with the exception of Bitcoin, right, the Bitcoin stuff. If you haven't seen it, you need to go back and look at the last couple of power hours that we've done. They're on YouTube. At the last couple of power hours we've talked about New Year's resolutions, which we should never wait to New Year to resolve anything. Oh, well, I missed it this year. I guess I got to wait till next year. I'll start losing weight in 348 days now instead, or 28 days now, whatever it is, right? No. Now, right? Now is the day. The time is always today. It's not later. Why put off what you do today until tomorrow? But everything we've done has been talking about that. We talked about building a winning trading system, right? And things like that. Well, when you look at some of that combined with what I want to talk today, how do you trade in 2024? And I think one of the biggest problems, one of the biggest mistakes, all right, let me see, trade in 2024. How to trade in 2024, right? So if you look at mistakes, right, when you look at the mistakes that individuals make as far as what they're trading or how they're trading, they're using a single pronged approach. What does that mean, a single pronged approach? You got a trade. It may work bullish and bearish. I don't mean that. You got a trade. And if the market shifts on you, it doesn't work. An example would be you are a swing trader. Okay, you're a swing trader. And that's all you do is you have a swing trading system. You have nothing to account for day trades. You have nothing in there that accounts for cash flow strategies. You get very low VIX like we have right now. The cash flow strategies become, I don't want to say complicated, but you've got to be more choosy, right, in what you do. It's no different when you look at, again, just the directional trade. Could you do just day trading? How about we go there? Yes, you could just day trade. The problem is there are times where had you held a position overnight in the right conditions, you will just, your entire year is made off of those trades, right? What you will find, they did a study on some professional traders, and they found that the average trader made 80%, listen to the numbers, 80% of their income from 20% of their trades. Have you ever heard the 80-20 rule before? It fits there perfectly, like a glove, okay? 80% of their income off of 20% of their trades. What they found is on the other 80% of their trades, they made a little bit, they broke even, or it cost them a little bit. What you didn't hear me say was they lost a lot. They spent a lot. It cost them. You didn't hear any of that, right? And if you go back and we look at Tony's numbers, 2,200, 1,800 for a $200 loss, $200 profit, $400 profit, 180 loss, 275 loss, 100 loss, 300 loss. Guess what? That's okay. Tony's got 10 trades. Half of them went against him. And he still came out $3,843 ahead on these non-funded trades, right? Go figure. If we look and take it a step further, I should have done this before and I didn't even think of it. Let me get out my calculator. This is from manufacturing days back in the late 1980s, right? This was a top-notch cannon back then, right? $6,750 is what he spent there, $5,130. He spent there $4,480. He spent there $2,985, $3,500. So 22 grand over all those trades, right? 5,820, 3,800, 3,600, 4,900, and 3,800. So $44,765. I'm going to write that down. 44,765. Cash in. Cash in is cash in your pocket, 38.43. Divided by 44,765. Means Tony's average trade was 8.5%. Now, I want you to think about something here. That's on a trader. And that includes the ones that went against us. Okay? Average trade. The market generates somewhere between 8 and 10% a year. This is on a per trade basis. And if we go and step this back to one more, in-depth, bigger picture here, what did Tony do? If you look at the big wins or big losses, the big numbers, what did he have here? He had 2 trades that were really big on this first page. The other ones are $200 to $400, right? Everything on this page was $100 to $300, right? So guess what? 2 out of 10 trades, 2 out of 10 trades, 2 out of 10 trades made the majority of the money for him. The other 80% made a little bit, broke even, lost a little bit. What I didn't mention was big losses, right? So when you look at the what to do in 2024, you first off do not want to have a single prong approach. You ideal approach. Yes, there's no I in approach, right? Ideal approach, right? You want to have some form of day trade system. That could be buying calls and puts. It could be a day trading system that incorporates credit spreads into it, but it is your in and you're out today, right? You also want to have some form of swing trading system. Swing trading system, what does that mean? Well, I need something that I'm going to plan at some point to hold overnight. And when I do hold overnight, I don't want to be doing that on a position that I bought on Monday and it expires this Friday, or I bought it on Wednesday and it expires this Friday, because just by allowing the options to go overnight, you're having a massive theta burn and really putting you in a bad spot with the probabilities on that position now as it starts to go against you. So you want to know that, of course, up front, but you want to be able to take advantage of that when you're ready for that. Everything we do in POP is all about a 2-pronged system. Day trades and swing trades. Jim said, "Are you looking to let your runners run and cut your losers?" Yes, Jim. That's the whole idea behind that 80-20, which is what? It's not Pythagoreans. That's Pareto, I think, right? I forget. I mix them up. It's one of those two. It's one of the P's. That's what that 80-20 process is, right? Let the winners run and cut your losses, right? And again, let's go there for a second. Ryan Litchfield brought up a great point this week in our Inner Circle training, right? And those of you that are not in our masterminds and inner circles, you really need to look at what it takes for you to get there, right? If you're ever at a point that you want to have that conversation with me, an email to support will get you a copy of the link to my calendar where you can get on my calendar. We can have that conversation, okay? But Ryan got up there, and he's actually training again next month. But he got up there and talked about, so what if you got into a position, I'm going to make numbers up, I don't remember what he used, but let's say you got into a position at $220 and your resistance is at 230. 232 is resistance. And you decide to get out of that position at about 230. Could you take the entire trade off because it's hit that resistance level? And the answer is yes. Can you allow that position to leave a runner or two behind and not get out of the entire trade? And Trader Will is in here. He was part of that direct conversation with Ryan yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. That direct conversation with Ryan on Saturday of, do you do this? And Ryan is no holds barred. Well, tell me how, tell me why, right? Why this, why not that? Ryan is trying to dig to get the answer out, okay? And Will said, I don't just get out of the position all the time. I scale out, bingo, right? By holding on to that position, now that doesn't mean it won't go against you after that, but you can greatly increase the odds that it moves in. If it moves in your favor, the amount of profit on that position grows exponentially by doing so. Okay. So the ideal approach would be to have a day trading system, a swing trading system, and some form of cash flow system. Right? And I'm happy if you have one to start, but realistically, you should probably have 4 or 5. Wait, I only need one day trading system, one swing trading system, but 4 or 5 cash flow systems? See, yes, yes. Right? And we went ahead and built out in Inner Circle a few months ago how to take whatever your number is. I used 100 grand because it's easy math. It's divisible, very easy dividing into 100, right? Took 100 grand and said, how do we break this 100 grand up over what strategies and what percentages? And I gave the percentages for all of them. Do we break them out in to generate this cash flow system? Because there will be times that one cash flow strategy, it just may not work as well right now. You may find that covered calls right now just aren't giving you enough premium, where diagonal spreads you might be crushing. Right? So by having multiple cash flow systems, you can go, ooh, I see on the car that I am repairing, when I pick up the hood, there's a nut that I have to take off. I've got a tool belt or a toolbox, and it's got all these tools in it. First thing I do is I take a wrench. It looks like it's about a 1-inch size wrench. I put the 1 inch on and I go, it's a little bit loose. I try the next size down below, which is 15/16 or 7/8. Or, yeah, it doesn't fit. It's too small. It won't work on it. It must be metric. Now you can try to rip it off with the 1 inch and hope you don't round all those edges over, which you probably will. You can go ahead and take the very bad maintenance mechanics approach and put an adjustable wrench on it, or even worse, a channel lock. Maybe start beating it with a hammer to try to loosen it up because you don't have a very good grip on there. Or you go get the right tool for the right job and you find that correct size, that metric wrench, and you use the correct metric wrench on there instead. Right? And that's what the cash flow systems are. You've got multiple tools in your tool belt that if something were to happen, bingo, you have everything you need right there to reach in, pull that tool out and say, for this job, this is what I need. For this job, this is what I need, right? I'm not going to use chapstick to write a note on my book, and I'm surely not going to use pen to try to put chapstick on my lips, right? The tool is for a certain function, right? You want to use that tool for that right function, right? So you've got some mistakes, you've got the ideal approach, right? You need to get really good even great at reading the market. What does that mean? SPX. Right? Get really good at reading the S&P 500. Now, for some of you, it might also be QQQ. Right? You may have other ones that you follow in there as well. You might be looking at IWM if you're doing iron condors. But these are two primaries that most stocks tend to fall under. Don't worry about the 30 stocks that fall under the Dow. All right? You can learn the Dow and follow the Dow, but it's 30 stocks. Okay? I get a much bigger bang for my buck, or even better than that phrase, I've got more versatility by getting good at reading the S&P because there's 500 stocks I could trade, or reading the NASDAQ because there's 100 stocks I could trade off of the NASDAQ. And that's, I don't know why I put QQQ, that's what it should have been. NASDQ, not Qs, but NASDAQ. All right? In there. Okay? And then you definitely need a fully functional time-tested trading system. What is time-tested? You didn't just start it this week. Say, I got a system. I'm going to put real money into it. No, hell no, you're not. Right? And it must, I'm going to do this all in caps. It must have all the rules defined. Write them down. I know it's a hassle. I know you may not want to do it. I get it. I get it. You know, this new person that we're bringing on is going to be working on some programming stuff for us as well. Content programming, some of those things like that. And one of the things that she's going to do is we have a program that we're working on right now to help build out a trading plan for you, where you'll be able to fill in your information, not only just about you, but the information about you. What price range are you looking for? What delta range are you looking for? What this, that, the other, right? And from that, it will build out an options trading system with identify, enter, manage, exit for you, fully done, that you don't have to do any of the writing, any of the thinking, any of it at all. It will do it all for you. All right. That capability will take away some of the fear that I know so many traders go through day in and day out, that they just get freaked over having to do it. And you know what? I'm one of them. Why? Because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. This is literally the stuff that I lament over at night. You know, I've got a pad on my desk right now. My drawer has another dozen of these pads in a cabinet. I've got about 200 of these pads in there. Why? Because I want to make sure I never run out, as if I'll use 200 of them anytime soon. Okay. I never write on the back side of the page because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. I wanted it. I threw it away. I've done it before. Excuse me. So I may have 2 or 3 of these out on my desk at one time because I'm working on 2 or 3 different things at once that I need notes on. When I go to sleep at night, on my bed is a pad with a pen. And if I wake up in the middle of the night with an idea, I will sit up, and it's not real easy to read, or it's not like I'm doing it well. I'm not using a light, turn the light on or anything, but I will write a quick note of what it is, because I will not go back to sleep if I don't. I have to, I must get it documented. If I don't, I'm done. 2 o'clock in the morning, I might as well just get up now because I ain't going back to sleep. Right? I have to have it written down. And if you still question, do you really need your trading system written down? I want you to riddle me this. How many, I'll pick 3. McDonald's, so food service. How many McDonald's? Not are there, don't answer yet. How many McDonald's? How many Walmarts? As a retailer. Okay, so you got food, right? As McDonald's, food service, retail, and then let's go with a we'll go with the retailer that is, look, bad. Okay, Amazon. We'll call it Amazon's real, not a franchise though. So let's look at Macy's. Okay, so McDonald's, Macy's, and Walmart. Okay, how many of them, of those stores, there's a lot of them between those 3 businesses, how many of them do you believe operate without a manual with every detail documented, including things like this is the temperature the oil for the French fries should be at? How many of those companies do you think have no manual to do those functions? Exactly. None. Then what gives you the right to believe that you're better than they are, that you don't need it, but only the really big companies need it? Oh, because my rules are really small. Guess what? When Ray Kroc took over McDonald's, when he swindled the McDonald's brothers out of the business, right? He went function after function after function and built his book out. When you look at it and you say, okay, I've got a day trading system, a swing trading system, and 5 cash flow systems, that's 7 trading systems in total. You're not writing all 7 today. You need to start with 1. And I would say the simplest one, the simplest system. Singular entry, singular exit. Don't worry about scaling in and out, and just the simplest system you could write. Then you will make it. Now you can take that system then and you can duplicate it. Right? You can copy it and move it over to another one and then just start working on it from there. Right? That you will not find these businesses not having a fully functional system out there. Right? At all. Okay. So when you look at what it takes, right, how to trade in 2024, look out for the standard mistakes, right? The biggest one being using the single pronged approach to the market, which means one trading system. Could you get away with day trading? Yes, you will, but you don't want to give up on the biggest opportunities of profit, which come in swing trades, not in day trades, right? They come in swing trades, right? I've had trades that we've done a 10 contract trade, got out of 40% of that trade was our first exit. A couple of days later, a week or so after that, we got out of another 30%. Week or so out of that, after that, we got out of another 20%. So now we're at a 9 of our 10 contracts. And I don't know, I'm going to make numbers up. In this example trade, you put in $5,000 and the 9 contracts have now brought in $7,000 of profit, right? On the 9, 7,000. But I've had it where that last contract, when it finally sold, made more money than the $7,000 we made on the 9 contracts combined, right? That home run is where the criticalness of it is right there. Right? When that home run comes in and you got into Apple at $185 and you put a day trade on and sold it at 187 and a week later it's at 212, right? Oh yeah, I don't ever worry about that. Well, listen, I agree that you can't lament over it, but had you had a different system in place, you could have capitalized on it, not per se lamented over it, right? At all. All right. Questions on what I just laid out for you guys. Was this helpful? I always try to make sure, listen, I get, guys, the grief I get from friends of mine who are professional traders who own their own trading businesses, and they see the stuff that we do like this on Monday that we give away for free. And like, y'all are nuts, man. We'd be selling that for $500 for $1,000. I get it. I understand that. That's not me. There you go, Jennifer. You need to be able to pivot. You need to be able to pivot. You need to be able to, I love Karate Kid, right? The song Glory of Love was mine and my wife's wedding song, right? It was our song when we dated, okay? And, I used to do this thing in front of the room when I would be teaching a live event. And I'd say, Mr. Miyagi says, best block, no be there. And I'd kind of go like it missed me, right? It went over my shoulder, right? Best block, no be there, right? And that truly is it, right? The best way to win is to be in it. The best way to win is to have a series of tools that you could pick from when you need them. You're a newer trader. Some of you, I don't recognize your names. You're brand spanking new here or newer or just coming back. Maybe, life got in the way, sabbatical, and now you're back to trading again or wanting to trade again, right? Well, for that person, develop a system, and I don't care which one it is. Day trading, swing trading, cash, I don't care. But you need something to start with, okay? You got to have something to start with. From there, you build out your systems. As you get proficient, you've done it enough times, you're trading over and over and over and over and over again. Now you build out your second and your third and your fifth and your 10th system, right? But today, your first system, when you write it out, is going to suck. Excuse my French or Greek or German or Italian or whatever language you want to call it, right? It's going to suck, right? Don't worry about that. You know what was important? You went through the process and wrote it down. And then you read it out and you go, well, something's missing there. Okay, great. Now you can make the modifications to it. My trading plan is about 50 pages long. Does not just incorporate trading. It incorporates everything that's important in life to me, right? It's a life plan. Because I found, and I know my personality, that when trading becomes my focus, everything else in the world goes away. I forget about friends, I forget about family, I forget about my faith, I forget about everything and focus on trading. So I have to build time in my planner for those things. Every month I put a new schedule together for the next upcoming month that we're going to be doing trainings with wealth builders. Before I ever do, the first thing I do is go to my wife and say, is there somewhere you want to go? We were talking this weekend about taking a couple of days and heading down to Florida for a few days. Is there somewhere you want to go this week, month, this upcoming month somewhere? When we get it on my calendar. So now when I go to set up the things for business, they're not the most important thing, right? Most important, my plan incorporates faith, 3 F's: faith, finance. I'm sorry, faith, family, finance. Right? That's me. How you do yours is you. I'm good with anything you choose to do. All right. But you got to get it documented down. For right now, if I just get you to document a system, I would be tickled pink. Right? Lee, do me a favor, drop in that link again, since we've had some people join since we first got started, to the Crush It in 2024. While we're here and Lee is doing that, you're waiting for that link. Guys, Sean in my office is working on something right now. I mentioned it last week. We're probably a week away from having it finalized. But we are going to have the ability now where you can sign up for free subscription to Power Hour, where you don't have to come back and register every week. Oh man, I forgot, I missed it this week. Nope, you'll be registered and you will get the continuation emails reminding you that Power Hour is coming up this week. All right, that'll happen. Like I said, within a week or so, we'll have that ability to do that. There'll be some bonus materials. You'll actually see it as a members area over there on your members page, right? You'll get the emails with the links and all of that. The links change every week. It's just the way our Power Hour works, but it changes every week. So there you go. Good. Signed up for Crushing It. Excellent. Excellent, Brenda. So you'll see that coming out over the next week or two. We'll be able to do that. Ultimately, then we're going to do the exact same thing for Trading Coaches Playbook. So many of you come here every week, but you've got to go and register every week. This way, you won't have to do that. You're just in there automatically. And if you decide you don't want to be in it any longer, you just tell us and we change the subscription. That's a piece of cake. All right. All right, everyone. Hey, there you have it. I'll leave the room open a couple of minutes. Grab that link. Get yourself registered for the upcoming classes. You got a couple of them to choose from. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. And I'll see you all on our next update, folks. Take care. Bye for now.